going to start the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Can we have a moment of silence, please? Roll call, Corinne?
Counselor Heising?
Yes, here.
Counselor Simon?
Yes.
Counselor Tirina?
Here.
Counselor Schneider?
Yes.
Council President Stickley?
Here.
We have 5 members present. We have a quorum.
Okay, thank you. Council has had time to go over the prior meeting's minutes. We have a motion to approve those minutes?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Motion to approve the prior meeting minutes moved by Council President Stickley and seconded by Counselor Heising. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
That's all the packet is minutes. It's so funny. Okay, first of the year, there's never really much on the agenda. So, committee reports, we have one, and that's from the Tree Commission. Any of you guys go to the Tree Commission? Jeremy?
I did.
Well, how'd it go?
Pretty good. They talked quite a bit about changing the bylaws from, evidently they were put in place in 1986.
Yeah.
And there's been a lot of things changed since then that they haven't went over, so that's what they're working on doing. And working on the prohibited list of trees, I guess.
Okay.
So that was about what I had before I had to leave.
One of the things I was going to ask, and they're probably going back and forth, and Keith isn't here to ask this question. Years ago, we had a woman hired by the city to go and more or less mark all the trees in the city as to how many we had, what species, where, this, that, and whatever. And it was all put down in some kind of a, this is how old it was, in a CAD, so it was older. But I know they've updated some of them, but I just wonder if the Tree Commission is ever looking into trying to do that to where we can kind of, like we have out in a trail, we have a couple of, one of the big oaks. Is it the oaks or elm?
It was Buckeye tree.
Buckeye, that's it. And, the things like that that really need to be noted, I think, because, having the Tree Commission and going to the banquets and stuff, that is something that they really talk about, is what you have in your city. I was wondering if they were ever going to do something like that.
John Alexander, is that?
Yeah, he's great.
Pretty knowledgeable on
He
that
is.
stuff. So.
Right. It's just that this person, that's all they did. They went through the parks and they looked at the ones that were possibly, and they measured for the age and all of that stuff. And they kind of gave us a data. And, I mean, it's so outdated, and from what I understand, the CAD never got into our system back at Public Works.
There was some kind of new system that, I don't know about new, but it wasn't, it was a more modern system that was
almost
spoken of
yeah.
at the Tree Academy graduation.
Yes.
That some of the cities are using, and it was talked about briefly in those that graduated from Wauseon. They talked about it briefly in their presentation,
Yes.
but I don't know, it was like a tree
scan.
inventory of, they could classify, so they know what percentage are, this tree versus this tree.
Mm-hmm. There's so many
because
things
they
out
varieties.
there. What got me to think about it, I mean, you could take your phone and get an app, put it on a plant, it's going to tell you what kind of plant it is and what it needs and blah, blah, blah. I know they have to have something like that out there for trees, what kind of tree it is, possibility of things. But anyways, I was just curious with you guys doing all of this, if anything like that is being discussed, because,
They haven't come up.
okay, well, they're obviously changing.
Yeah, so I was at the meeting for the purpose of reviewing with them the proposed changes to the ordinance. And so we probably met for an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes. It was a good discussion. They gave me some things to think about, and so the ball's in my court now to go back and sort of put what they've done in the form of an ordinance that they can review, and then eventually get to Safety and Code Committee, and then for passing by council to update the tree ordinance or the Tree Commission ordinance. And at the beginning of the meeting, Laura Camp presented just quickly using her laptop to the committee the presentation, I guess, that they had to prepare as part of their curriculum for their academy. And it was extremely interesting, and I was very impressed. And I think the idea is for them to present that to council. They wanted to present it to the tree commission
Good.
first, but eventually to bring it to council. So I think that topic would be something that either they'll discuss or could be one of interest for council to ask them about where they're at on that. But I was just really impressed with how they're ramping up their more focused approach on just the whole tree situation in Wauseon, and I think there's really a good group.
It is a
put together.
great group. I mean, that started way back when we became part of the Tree City thing, and those are all of our years that we have done well with giving the information out and doing things for our trees and stuff. But I like what you're saying, and I'm really anxious to see what it is. But this is such an active commission, and I think you'll like it. And you're right, John Alexander is very knowledgeable and stuff. But unfortunately, like a storm like we just had, if you go around our town, we have so many trees, and you see the damage that it does. Now they have to go around and assess all of that and see what needs to be replaced. And
I know
stuff.
I said it at committee of the whole, but saying it, in terms of, at least for the public to know, any of those members, especially the ones that just graduated from that tree academy, they're so knowledgeable that, if anyone has someone come to them and has a question about a tree or would like to plant trees on their property, they are the people to ask because they know which varieties to plant, they
What
know.
to and what not to.
Exactly, where on the property to plant them because they often outlast the infrastructure.
Yeah, okay. That's a good knowledge, thank you. No action though, right? Or, no, just for you to get their stuff ready. Okay, thank you. Thanks, Jeremy. All right, let's see. Moving on to department head reports. We got one. Well, one is sick and at home. That would be Chief Chittenden, and Keith is out of town, and Jamie thinks that she could not be here for this meeting, so go on ahead.
Just wanted to remind everybody the Fulton County Firemen's Fire Chiefs Dinner, Firemen's Association Dinner. You should have all received
That's
an invite to
alright.
that via email. If you're attending, please don't forget to RSVP.
868043.
Sorry. This past weekend, the city was recognized down in Columbus by the VFW. Jed Bowers was recognized as EMT of the Year down there, and he was nominated by his peers. And we also had, through the school system, Joy Hutchinson was recognized by the VFW as State Teacher of the
Oh,
Year. So
great.
they were down there. So
I just want to add, and I know you probably talked to them, or maybe you didn't. I went and watched a simulation with our
Oh, I
fire
did not.
department, where the EMS were down there, and I was there, and a couple police officers in and out. But what they did is, it was a parent, or it was a teacher in-service day on Friday, so they went in and they, was it a renewal of their CPR?
Yes.
Okay, so they spent half the time renewing the CPR techniques and what's changed and what hasn't, and they had tables set up. They had 2 sessions, one in the morning, one in the afternoon. What I was really encouraged to see is, after that was all done and everybody went through the process, they had a real scenario of what to do. And they acted it out, and they had certain teachers come in and do it. And they did a simulation call to 911. Well, if all of you know, it was raining or snowing and icing, and our 911 dispatch was very busy. And the call actually got rolled over to Henry County. And it was interesting to see how it all transpired and why things happened. But they also understood when they came in. Our fire chief stood off to the side. Jed Bowers was on the mic explaining everything to the teachers. And you can attest that you had told me that some of the morning teachers, they were in tears because they never realized how much it takes what happens, what do I do with my students, just all the kinds of questions that came out on, and it was for a full arrest,
Mhm.
CPR, and on a child. And that's how they had to act. And each fire or EMS personnel that came in, each had a job. There were 8 of them that came in. Each one of them had a job to do. And all of these teachers got to see. It's not just roll in and throw them on the gurney and out they go. What goes on, how they communicate with the hospital, how this person is dealing with the family, getting information. It was great. And it was, they were overwhelmed, and I talked to a few teachers afterwards, and they loved it. So kudos to you and all of your personnel. And it was a messy day and lots of accidents, and they still got it off, and I really enjoyed it. So thank you for that. And I know the teachers really liked it too. And they're all reserves. So thank you. Anything else?
And we talked about it in council of the whole, if there's any interest in investing in the camera system, the OWL system, let me know.
Yeah. Okay. Tom?
I don't really have anything, just that report on the tree commission stuff, and I guess that's really it, unless anybody has any questions for the law department.
Well, would we have to vote for the OWL system, or would it just kind of be, we all agree?
It's just out of your budget.
It's just out of your
It just comes out, what you guys decide out of your budget, no. because
What's the
budget's-
timeline for your decision-making process?
I was going to go to Clinton Township on Thursday and offer it to them as well, so.
So
It's-
somebody want to make a motion or anything?
Is it
Sure.
emergent? No, but the sooner
don't.
I get it, I will be using it, so.
We don't motion, we just say.
If you guys are interested in doing it, you have your budget with council.
So our budget's
Yeah.
$1,000,
I'd be on board if we went and gave them 500.
500?
And then that gives reserve for candy for the parades and that sort of thing.
Brandon?
Yeah, this doesn't, the candy budget's not from this.
Right.
Oh, it's not.
Yeah, it's not.
What's-
This
what
is
the
just
candy
like
budget?
I don't know,
Because
but
that's
this
what we
is,
said last time, was that the candy came out of that.
This is,
Yeah, Jamie-
capital.
yeah,
Your cap-
Jamie cleared that up.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
did I miss that at the end of
I think
committee of the
yeah.
whole? Okay.
yeah.
Because that wasn't said when it,
You were, yeah, I think,
Okay.
but everybody was talking. I don't know, but anyways, this doesn't come out of candy
Okay.
budget, yeah. So I'm good with
But we-
$500.
But we might have something else
Okay.
in the next 12 months.
Right.
Do you want to go with
it's,
5?
it's kind of early in the year to spend the whole.
Yeah, because you might have some education.
We would have to go ask for more money,
Yeah, there you
the
go.
finance committee.
Reappropriate, it's called.
So anyhow, we'll give $500 of ours towards it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Out of your budget.
Of the
Okay.
budget.
Thank you, guys. All right. Well, this is such an easy meeting. Let's see.
It'll get worse.
I know. We've got nothing under the first reading, nothing under second, and nothing under the third reading. Under new business, I kind of was touching base. Jeremy, you came in at the end, but the chamber runs a gala, and they are inviting the city to participate in this. It's the Taste of Wauseon Gala, where it also coincides with the Heart Radiothon. It's kind of a fundraiser. We work together, and you get to get your wife and bring her, and enjoy all the foods of Wauseon, and chamber members. We do have some out of town as well that like to bring in, and we have the Lee Warren Band is playing, and it's a good night.
Okay.
So if you're interested, let me know. I'm trying to get tables for that.
It's at St.
With
Casper's.
letting him know about the fire appreciation night, which is always a good night, and a good speaker. Other than that, I got nothing.
I had something, then I forgot what it was.
Oh, no. Oh, under new business.
Under new business. Yeah, I know, I remember. All right, so we had talked about putting together like a roundtable discussion of
Yes,
people.
yeah, I'm
have
working
these-
on,
Okay, so that's
I've got
started.
about 6 members.
Oh, nice.
And
Okay.
I'm trying to get about
That's
6
perfect.
more. If you guys can help me out, I need somebody young, maybe in their 20s, just fresh out of college, somebody in that age area yet, and, but I'm getting there. I've actually talked, other thing under new business, Frank LaRose was at the Red Rambler, and I met with him and welcomed him to the city of Wauseon and stuff, and visited. And we talked a little bit about that, just that discussion, it reminded me. And some of them were like, but why? And I said, because a lot of people are asking, and it's a good thing to discuss. So I'm almost done with it, and we're gonna meet probably the middle of February will be our first meeting.
Oh, cool, okay.
Okay?
And then will you email that, or Corinne, will you email it to whoever, because we can attend that, right?
Well,
Or are
it's,
you trying
no.
to keep it closed
This
off?
is, the people that I'm getting is more or less, we're gonna meet, we're gonna talk, and then we're gonna gather some information. Once we get all the information gathered, then I'll bring it back to you, but
Okay,
the biggest thing is, we want them to be able to speak freely and not feel like they're being intimidated by a meeting or minutes or anything else. So that's
Okay.
why we just kind of wanted to get the information. But what I can do is give you guys the questions and things like that. Things are being introduced to, and so that you kind of get an idea what they're going to be discussing. But it's more or less just a roundtable discussion.
okay.
So
Is this on the marijuana?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, this would be on that. And I'd like to get somebody from law enforcement. Just thinking out loud.
I know a couple.
You know a couple? Okay, we can talk. All right, but thanks for asking.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's getting done.
cool.
So I know it's exciting. I'm surprised how many people want to jump on board. So it's kind of neat. Anything under old business? Okay, then let's pay the bills.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second. Oh,
Motion to approve and pay the bills as presented, moved by Counselor Schneider and seconded by Counselor Tiarena. Any discussion? Counselor Schneider?
Yes.
Counselor Tiarena?
yes.
Counselor Heising?
Yes.
Counselor Simon?
Yes.
Council President Steers?
Yes.
Aw.
President who?
Council President Stickley.
Yeah.
Oh, that's gonna be a hard
So,
one.
what did you call me?
Steeritz.
The first
Yeah.
three letters are the same.
Yeah.
I was gonna answer.
STISTI.
I've answered to a lot
There's always
worse.
You did.
Yeah, that's exactly.
5 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
All right, can we have a motion for adjournment, please?
I'll make that.
I'll second it.
Yes, you made it.
Motion to adjourn moved by Council President Stickley and seconded by Councilor Simon. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.